Ito na, ang ating SME.
Par excellence.
Ayan, par excellence. And na-miss ko si attorney kahapon
Oo.
Inggit ako sa iyo.
Alam ko may jet lag pa nga to si attorney nung pumunta kahapon dito. Parang ikaw may jet lag ka rin.
Hindi, Vietlag.
Ang pangit pakinggan. Konting tweak lang iba na yung naririnig ko partner dun sa Vietlag mo.
Alam mo talaga ngayon, you're a hopeless case.
Eto, kausapin na natin
Sige.
ang ating past president ng Philippine Bar Association, chairman ng Movement Against Disinformation, our Suki, our in-house na almost SME, si Attorney Rico Domingo. Attorney, good morning! It's the two of us again.
Good morning, Rica. Good morning, Rica, and good morning, Paul. Narinig ko kay Paul.
Peter po.
Kay Peter, rather.
Peter, Paul, and
Narinig ko
Mary.
kay Peter na may mga champurado dun sa
Yes.
site na kanilang blood donation.
Yes.
Kami, Sky Flakes lang.
Skyflakes. Ang kainan.
Alam mo,
Lamay.
bigla akong pinawisan nung marinig ko na naman yung Skyflix Sabi ko, medyo hindi ba nakakahiya kay Attorney Rico? Para tayong may lamay dito.
Wala sustansya.
Okay, Attorney Rico, it's good to have you back, and looks like
Same here.
we're looking at a very exciting phase. Today, kung halimbawa matapos na po si attorney, ano nga pangalan nun?
Jeremy Lotok.
Lotok,
Oo.
Lotok, si Attorney Lotok, okay, ng NBI, But be that as it may, gusto ko lang pong itanong, attorney, yung mga nangyari kahapon na sinusundan ko habang kami ay nagtutur sa Vietnam. Okay. Ang sabi po maganda yung tanong ni Senator Bam Aquino, na ang tanong niya if Vice President Sara Duterte's lawyers deny that she contracted an assassin to kill a ranking government official, does this mean that her statements during a November 2024 online press briefing were mere lies? So, in other words, kung wala daw na kinontrata, wala namang kinontrata si VP Sara na, quote, pumatay sa Pangulo, sa unang ginang at sa former Speaker of the House, what does that make of the case against VP Sara?
Well, it's for the defense to justify that kind of statement, no? But it's too early to make a conclusion. Maganda yung question na yun, but
Opo.
that is posed for the prosecution to establish that's part of the grave threats na sinasabi. So still, everything is fluid. No? Hindi ko sinasabing tama ang prosecution, hindi ko sinasabing respondents' cross-examination is right. But nonetheless, that would be telling in a sense that it might prove that eventually na ang sinabi ng Vice Presidente during those press briefings talagang totoo.
Is it a very important question po, Attorney Rico, na kumbaga sa larong chess, any wrong move will mean mati ka na or checkmate?
Depende sa pagkakasabi, no? Kasi ang inahanda ng defense is that sabihin totoo naman ng sinabi ni Vice President at pinapatunay naman ng prosecution na kasinungalingan ang sinasabing depensa. No? So, natutunggali ngayon ng dalawang version. So, it's all up to the prosecution to establish that, no? Na magkahambingan.
Attorney, nakita po natin kung paano nilatag ng prosekusyon yung kanilang argumento na may substance yung threat ng Vice Presidente, no, na hindi siya nagbibiro nung kanyang sinabi yon, na siya ay galit ng mga panahon na attorney o nasabi nga niya yung mga salitang yan, yung mga threat na yan. So, dun sa 4 points na hinahanap ng NBI, nakita nila yon doon sa mga pronouncements ng Vice Presidente. Ngunit ang binabaril ng defense when we try to look at what happened yesterday is yung sa filing nung iba-ibang mga dokumento, the inconsistencies, the typographical errors, even dun sa dates na nakalagay, trying to say na sloppy yung ginawa nilang investigasyon, or maybe hindi ito binigyan ng same importance as how they handle other investigation. Nakita po ba natin talaga ito? Or ang nakita po ba natin na the more they press on this, na nakikita ang inconsistencies, nakikita natin na it's how they treat all the other investigations just the same?
Yes, I've been dealing with the NBI for quite some time. At nagkakaroon ng typographical errors but not of this magnitude, no? O na pinapakita ng respondent, no, counsel. But ang point lang dito, would that negate what they found out, and in their finding, would that negate that, notwithstanding the alleged typographical errors? So that can be rehabilitated. It's a matter of probably an administrative lapse or whatever. So it's all up to the prosecution to make a strong case na mukhang meron lang lapses sa typographical errors ba yan o whatever. So depende yan sa bibigay nilang subsequent witnesses to rehabilitate whatever lapses may have been perceived.
And what about po yung sinabi ng defense na merong possible tampering of documents? Meron din po ba itong substantive value dun sa kanilang argument?
May tatamaan sila sa credibility ng mga dokumentong pinipresent ni Attorney Lotok, no? But nonetheless, ang titingnan din ng mga senator judges would be yung testimony niya. Kasi tinahitahi niya by way of testimony, but not by the way of the presented documentation that he probably prepared as the main investigator. Pinagtahi-tahi niya yung November 23, 2024, yung earlier October 2023 pronouncements, no? Yung mga sinasabi ng allegedly ng Vice Presidente, pinagtahi-tahi po nila yun eh. At mainam ang pagkakapresenta ng prosecution sa pagtatahi ng mga footages na yon, no? Now, ang next case would be, the next witness would be, I think, the witnesses of those press briefings, no? And one of them, I think, is Bones Mansambol ng Philippine Inquirer or whoever, and some other press people who were present, no? Sinabi natin earlier na hindi lang naman forensic evidence ang pinag-usapan natin dito. We are also having the testimonial foundation. Kung nakita mo mismo na sinabi at narinig mo mismo through the witnesses na bibigay ng prosecution, nakita nilang sinasabi ng Vice Presidente yung sinasabi niyang yung papatayin kita, sinabi ko na, no joke, no joke. Pag merong magtetestigo na nakita nila at narinig ang sinabi ng VP, tapos na po yan. Hindi na kailangan even the forensic evidence.
Even if the defense keeps on challenging the authenticity of the video?
Opo. But again, yung challenge naman that's a technical challenge, no? Hindi natin maalis yan. I think the prosecution is being careful kasi eventually pupunta sa Supreme Court yan eh.
Oo.
Sasabihin ng ibang senator judges, masyado naman kayong technicality at masyado kayong mabusisi sa ganyan. Pero at the end of the day, pag dumating yan sa Supreme Court, titingnan ng Supreme Court na nalay nyo ba ang basis ng forensic evidence. So yan ang pinapangalagaan ng prosecution. Hindi dahil gusto nilang maging technical dyan. Because eventually, ang nangyayari dyan, would the truth be subservient to the technicalities? No? So mapapakita natin yan sa presentation ng prosecution if they are able to establish that.
Okay. Sabi ni Attorney Lotok, NBI Agent Lotok, hindi pa rin matunton at matukoy ang pagkakakilanlan ng hitman o yung sinasabing hitman na kausap ni VP Sara. How crucial is this? How damaging is this to the case ng prosecution? Hindi ba maituturing na parang yun ang linchpin ng kasong ito?
At the very least, that would somehow put a dent on the credibility of the presentation. But pag hindi mo nakita assassin, are you suggesting na walang grave threats? Kasi pagkakasabi mo ng sinabi niya, if I may repeat, no? May kinausap na ako na tao, sinabi ko sa kanya kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Liza Araneta at si Martin Romualdez. No joke, no joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am, pag mamamatay ako. Sabi ko, wag ka tumigil hanggang hindi mo mapatay sila. And then he said yes. So,
Okay.
kailangan ba natin pang pag-usapan yan, no? And later on, sinabi niya sa November 26, 2024, pag namatay ako, I already asked a person to take revenge to 3 individuals. So my question now to the administration, is revenge from the grave a crime? So in other words, napatunayan ang authenticity, assuming that is the case, no? Siya na mismo nagsasabi at she never denied that. She was given a chance to present that evidence na hindi niya sinabi yon or iba sinabi niya, but hindi siya sumipot dun sa committee hearings at even during the time that they were evaluating whether to file the articles, particularly Article 4. So, di dapat ang onus now, palagay ko po naman, hindi naman sa nag-ano tayo na side, ang onus now is na-reverse na kasi napatunayan na sinabi niya.
Okay. Which brings us
Ang onus would be the burden, Peter. I'm sorry to
It's okay.
use that
Go ahead.
technical word.
the onus is the burden of proof lies with the prosecution.
Yes, but with that testimony and the forensic evidence presented so far, ang nakikita natin would be when the defense turn to present evidence, they have to rebut that. They have to demolish that established facts.
Okay, which brings us to a very interesting personality na maaaring maipresenta mamaya po, si Zuleika. Opo, hindi po Zulaika, Zuleika.
Zuleika ba? Hindi ko alam, nalilito ako dyan.
Yeah, it's an Arabic name actually, which means brilliant, beauty, fair, resplendent.
Gara.
Mema lang.
Oo.
Attorney Rico,
That's parang dinidescribe mo si Rica.
Alam mo na, papalitan ko na pala pangalan ko.
Sureka. Hindi, pangit yung siraka eh.
Di bagay.
Okay, Attorney Rico, the prosecution is presenting Miss Zuleika Lopez as a hostile witness. Pray tell, what is a hostile witness?
Napag-usapan namin kahapon yata nila Danny tsaka ni Rica. Ang hostile witness is simply hindi mo kaalyado, hindi mo kasama sa presentasyon ng ng iyong ebidensya at iyo'y taliwas sa iyong sinasabi.
Okay.
So but sinabi na natin kahapon na Peter, ang hostile witness hindi dapat hostile lang kaagad. You have to lay the basis to present her or him as a hostile witness. So, may preliminary questions muna yan.
Ayan.
Pag nakita ng presenter, meaning the prosecution counsel na hindi yata ito, taliwas yata ito sa theory natin ng kaso, then he would ask permission to the presiding officer to now ask her leading questions. Kasi pag hostile witness ka, pwede kang mag-lead eh. Pag you are presenting a testigo, a witness na hindi mo sinasabing hostile, then you cannot pose leading questions.
Okay.
Kaya pwedeng ilay mo ang basis kung hostile witness ang pinag-usapan natin dito, then saka lang mag-a-answer ang hostile witness na hopefully yung ine-expect mong makuha. But you cannot be sure of that. That's a very risky proposition, no? So kung hostile na yan at palagay mo, you're confident na mai-extract mo ang testimony niya in your favor, meaning the prosecution, then that's the time you can really ask her hostile questions.
So it could easily go south for the prosecution, ano? Opo, pwedeng mag-boomerang.
Kaya skillful po naman ang prosecutor natin at nakikita naman natin the way he conducts the testimony and the presentation. I'm not making any judgment on his but simply mukhang alam niya ang ginagawa niya.
So malamang pine-prepare na po nila ngayon si Attorney Zuleika ng defense on what might possibly be asked of her. Ano po yung nakikita ninyong angle, Attorney Rico? Kasi mukhang ang nakikita natin is the defense is presenting her as yung kanyang pagkakapiit, no, as maybe a reason of why uminit ang ulo ng Vice Presidente, therefore leading to pronouncements such as kung ano yung mga nasabi niya before. What do you think can be the angle that the prosecution will use for their line of questioning?
Pag tinanong siya ng some incriminating questions, she can invoke the right of self-incrimination against self-incrimination. That would be the first front na pwede niyang sabihin. That's why hindi na itutuloy yun.
Yun.
If she can establish that she is facing, we don't know whether she's facing some criminal charges, right? Hindi
Yes.
natin alam yan. Kung related, intrinsically related yung kanyang sinasabi at ang ine-extract ng prosecution in this particular case when she's being presented as a hostile witness, ine-extract na yun, related yun sa criminal actions that are either pending or ongoing right now, then she can invoke the right against self-incrimination.
Parang ang hirap kasi nun, partner, pag inisip mo eh. Hindi naman ako, pag tinanong siya, sinabi mo ba to? Eh di, ayoko namang kontrahin ang sinabi ko, na sinabi ko hindi ko sinabi, but the video says that I did. Di po ba? Kaya niya sasabihin, I invoke my right against self-incrimination. So, if that is already the wall that she'd be using, parang magiging tapos na agad, dead end na agad yung magiging tanungan, di po ba?
Opo. Yan constitutional right po niya yan. No, Rica? That's a constitutional right. Hindi mo mapagpapakaila sa kanya yan. If she feels that she is actually testifying on matters that would incriminate her in other civil actions against her, now pending, hindi natin alam yan, no? Baka masabi niya yon, hindi ko po alam yan. Wala akong kalaman dyan. Then that would be a valid answer to a hostile witness testimony.
So, ibig sabihin po, she can just clam up, yung magsasara na siya at sasabihin niya na I invoke my right against self-incrimination? I mean, can she invoke that?
She can invoke that, but again, yung skill and experience ng prosecution counsel will be able to extract whatever he wants from the hostile witness.
Wow.
So depende yan sa kanyang presentation. Kasi hindi mo naman lagi sasabihin self-incrimination yan.
Yeah, okay.
So in other words, depende yan sa pagkakalatag ng direct examination via the hostile witness. Kaya dapat hintayin po natin yan. Mainam natin bigyan ng obserbasyon kung anong gagawin ng prosecution counsel.
Can the prosecutor argue yung sagot ng witness na I invoke that right? Pwede ba niya sabihin, wait, bakit? Hindi naman ganito ang aking tanong, kundi ganito ganyan.
Pwede. Depende yan sa ruling ng presiding officer.
Okay.
Gawa ng manananggol din ang presiding officer. Alam niya ang self-incrimination, right against self-incrimination. Tinuro po yan sa eskwela natin.
Yeah. Okay, one last perhaps a very small detail po. Kung mailalagay nga sa witness stand si Zuleika Lopez mamaya at dumating ang VP at siya pumosisyon sa gallery, that is allowed. Ano po? I mean, she's not breaking any rules of the impeachment trial.
She's accused. She is the accused, so she has the right to listen to the accusations against her, and she's the VP. So wala pong balakid para nandun siya, no? Pero nakakatakot po diyan, baka bigyan siya ng subpoena.
Ano ibig sabihin na bigyan siya ng subpoena? To appear?
Gagawin siya, sabi ni private prosecutor si Lorna Capunan, sabi niya gusto niyang tawagin ang VP President as a hostile witness.
I mean, not right then and there. Hindi naman ganoon.
Well, what would stop the clerk of court to issue a subpoena with the permission of the presiding officer? Nakaupo siya doon eh.
Oh my.
Siguro kahapon na Peter, remember 6 hours.
Yes. Opo.
Madaling mag-apply ng sa subpoena do sa STECOM and whatever, no?
Opo.
Testificandum rather. Subpoena testificandum.
At saka
So,
meron na pong pro forma yan, di ba?
may pro forma po yan.
Fill in the blanks.
Kaya pasulpot-sulpot lang yung VP President para
Ayan.
lang makita kung okay ang nangyayari.
Okay. Attorney Rico, will pause here and I know that magkakausap po ulit tayo mamaya. Ano. Maraming salamat. It's always a pleasure, sir, picking your mind on a lot of things, especially with relative to the impeachment. Salamat po, Attorney Rico.
Thank you, attorney. See you
Salamat,
soon.
Peter, Rica. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ayan, kahit na may jet lag pa nga.
Oo nga.
Alright. Ang oras, it's 9:48. Alas 9:48 ng umaga.